A tough set of matches for me to read yesterday. I don't know how you got on. We've got no angles to work off. We've got no previous patterns. These are just two-off affairs. Possibilities here, given what Arsenal did to PSV for taking on the AZ lead with insurance. You'd have got out okay. Was expecting Lyon to beat standard Steaua Bucharest. This was a profit only if you got out at the 1-1. This is typical of the Europa League, to be honest. These are big guesses from the market, aren't they? Expectation is for the special one managed side at home to do the business. Man United, as unreadable as ever, deserved by Eintracht Frankfurt. This is a case of trusting the in-play stats again. They were very solid. Roma Bilbao arguably could have taken on a Bilbao lead. The red card came late, too late not too late to impact the match. Could have arguably taken that lead on. But it's two very similar sides, quality-wise. Great result for Bodo Glimt, given Olympiacos were in the European final recently as well. Going back to the Conference League. Could have laid the draw here, and this was what I was waiting for. I covered my insurance, and I was waiting for this to be a 0-0 for a little bit longer than it was. But terrific Tankovic fired Paphos to victory. 65th minute, could have done with a few more at 0-0. Elsewhere, incredibly difficult to unpack. Again, laying the draw second half, in retrospect, should have been the way to do it, particularly with those substitutions as well. Panathinaikos against Fiorentina, 2-0 lead for Panathinaikos, possibly gettable. But it's all whether you play or not. Now we've got the second legs. We've got a lot clearer indicator of who needs what for the second leg. I think Fiorentina will be a lot more competitive at home. They've got to score the next goal at home. Legia Warsaw were very impressive as well, coming from a 3-goal deficit to 3-2. So plenty for the second legs, which will be far more readable. You just have to sit on my hands at the moment, unless you play neutrally, because we've just got no history from these sides, have we? Contrast that with the league football. We've got plenty of history of Norwich and Oxford, for example. I was contrasting recent form. Only the one loss for Norwich recently. 3 losses only since Boxing Day. 2 of them away. Both teams scoring habit at home as well without losing. So do note that today. Oxford failing to score in 4 of the last 5 matches, which is a slight concern for them. But gave a good account against Coventry City. But on what you're seeing immediately, you're looking for possibility both teams to score, with Norwich not losing. They have conceded in the last 12 home matches, so we could see that both teams to score element today. Certainly look at taking on an Oxford lead, should they lead. 11th, Norwich, they'll be panicking a little now. Playoff is a little too far away. We're running out of matches, but as you can see, this is what you're normally expecting of Oxford against the top 10. Defeat. Unlikely to score that second goal. So it looks pretty good for Norwich today. It was a 2-0 defeat for Norwich last time these two met. That might not be replicated today. So on paper, Norwich are conceding at home, but don't tend to lose recently. Watch out for 22 goals scored in the last half hour of home matches. Similar to Sassuolo in the Italian Serie B. That's something to think about this evening. At the hour mark, if it remains 0-0 or 0-1. So that looks fairly clear cut. Just look at the league positions as well. You can tell that in the live standings here. Well, there will be live standings once the goals come in, but you can tell the need for Norwich. 48, break them into the 50-point barrier, 51 with a win, and then they're only a point away from the promotion. So this could be pivotal for their season. You've got to get into that 50-point barrier to have a tilt at the playoffs. Oxford, there's a bit of breathing room between them and Luton Town. 7 points now. Make that double figures with a win, and they could be vying for the playoffs eventually. But really, Norwich have to start getting towards that 51-point barrier with a win today. So for me, add that to the fact that they're scoring a huge amount of goals after the half-hour mark, and we got ourselves a more readable match than we got yesterday, haven't we? In yesterday's Conference League and Europa League, we don't have these angles at all. We don't have season-long form to work off. These were one-off or two-off matches. Toulouse and Monaco, we can take a look at that one as well, and we'll take a look at Mönchengladbach and Mainz. First port of call will be the standings, and you will see top 8 clash. Toulouse need more points more than Monaco do. But Monaco with the win take them to 46, and they'll be similar points-wise with Nice, but just failing on the goal difference, depending on what they do today. But it's crucial, yet again, another crucial win in order to try and get into those Champions League spots. Toulouse, but they're only 6 points shy of European football. So this is a European tussle this evening. Well, Monaco doing all of their best work at home at the moment. Toulouse doing their best work away from home. So a match of contrast. 3 consecutive home defeats, 3 consecutive away defeats, but 2 consecutive away wins, 4 consecutive home wins. Conceded in the last 5 at home, Toulouse, and both teams have scored in the last 4 away. No win in 6 for Monaco. So they must change this poor form, and they might have a chance given Toulouse have failed to beat the top 7 side home and away this season. That could sink Toulouse, couldn't it? It's consistent form. It's the kind of form we don't see in the Europa League, Conference League, isn't it? It's just telling you likely struggles against top 4. Make that top 7. %69% of Toulouse goals scored at home have come second half. Monaco end well, don't start well second half. So the onus really, look at 6-0 at half time at home. So do expect a possibility of goals before half time. It's a ropey one, but on Toulouse's form against the top 8 or lack thereof, you'll be siding with Monaco on seasonal patterns. Mönchengladbach and Mainz. Let's see who needs what. Mönchengladbach in 8th place. Again, a win takes them into Europe. Mainz, a win, just takes them up into that 3rd spot and tries to cement the Champions League berth for them. Good recent form for both teams since the 25th of Jan. Pretty similar form. Clean sheets are where Mainz are at. 3 clean sheets in 4 matches. Mönchengladbach, 2-goal pattern, really, recently, but not consistent enough. But like my Mainz form, particularly against Leipzig in the last away match, most unlike them, put together 2 consecutive wins. Again, Mönchengladbach, similar problem to the previous team against the top 11 at home. They've not shown any willingness to win, and against the top 7 home and away, no willingness to win. But both teams have scored against 2nd and 3rd at home. Possibilities there today. Mainz will do lose sporadically away, but also have 3 goals in them when they need them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 occasions away from home. That could really tilt things in their favour. But do note, all of Mönchengladbach's good work has come against 12th and lower in the League of 18. It's the bottom third. So note that. They're looking great in top 8, but it's mostly against the bottom third sides. So they might be vulnerable today against Mainz with their 3-goal habit on occasion away from home. So that might just see me favouring Mainz here today. They do have 3 goals in the locker. We've got the peripheral leagues as well out and about today. French Ligue 2. Keep an eye on the standings. These are revealing themselves quite well, these leagues. Bestia and Martigues, let's have a look. Well, Martigues, 24 points, still salvageable this season. Bastia, 34, again with a win, takes them to 37 within 2 points of promotion playoffs. So still work to be done. I don't think Bastia's odds look a tad short right off the bat. But with 2 consecutive wins, especially for Martigues, I think that's a bit cavalier of the market, but we will see whether that's correct or not. Seine and Laval. Laval in 7th. Automatic promotion or promotion playoff place with the win. There's only the one really to aim for, such as the gap between Metz and the top 4 and 5th. So better get their skates on. Seine. Laval, sorry. Seine are down here and they're done, I think. So this is their favourite today, Seine. So that's interesting. The markets tended to get that right of late. A draw and a win for Seine, trying to save their season desperately. But I would normally take on a distancing bottom side. So we will see there. Grenoble and Ajaccio, 8th Grenoble again, can get into Europe. Or can get into the promotion playoff places. Ajaccio, 5 points above relegation. Guingamp in that last place on 39 points. So must break that 40-point barrier because they're all breathing down their necks, getting into the top 5. Clermont, they're in that bottom relegation place, the last third. A win takes them to 28. Pau and Troyes, mid-table mediocrity, but a little bit too near to Europe, to relegation. Red Star, 4 points above the relegation zone. I'd like to keep it that way. Relegation 6-pointer with Amiens, 5 points above the relegation zone. Take points off your near rival. That's what that one will be about. So a fascinating fixture list today. Laval, watch out for them. Grenoble, all in that search for the top 5 berth. These 2 sides need to win. Bastia as well. But I don't know why they're such short-priced favourites. So plenty of football this evening. I hope to be up and about. My niece is arriving on her trip to Thailand, so that might scupper things for this weekend. She's a bit of a hippie chick, so it's all last second. Somebody told me last night she was arriving this evening. I still want to do a live stream tomorrow, so I hope I can get one in. One last match to look at, Cagliari and Genoa. Let's look at the standings to start with. Cagliari, 15th place, 3 points above the relegation zone. Genoa, 9 points above the relegation zone. So the onus really is on the team only 3 points above the relegation zone, Cagliari, to do something. 2.4, the favourite, suggests it's a very tough match to unpack. So let's have a look at that. You have to go through all the hoops at soccerstats.com. How to loot. Well, I could tell you how to hack or how to get hacked, but not how to loot. Only 3 wins since the 8th of December for Cagliari. Not the finest bit of form on the planet, is it? Genoa, sporadic would describe them, but only 4 defeats since the 4th of November. Takes a tough cookie to beat them, but 3 defeats in the last 4 away. Note the teams, though: Roma, Fiorentina and Milan. Not too shabby. Genoa, scoring 2 goals at home. Do have them in the locker. Weren't really expecting Cagliari to get anything from Bologna. We profited from that one. And similar story against Juve. But that just shows their defensive strength against Atalanta. Conceded in the last 6 at home, though, Cagliari. And challenge table 15th against 12th. Good form against 8th and lower at home. Will have them confident. Genoa, well, only 2 defeats against 9th and lower. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why it's 2.4 the favourite. Okay. Eredivisie, just renowned for goals, basically. I like to do a both teams to score and over 2.5 goals accumulator. When they come in, they pay very, very well. And you're going to have a good shot each weekend. Spanish La Liga 2, again, just have a look at the standings. We've got Eibar and Almeria. 15th against 7th. So 50 points is waiting for Almeria with a win. And that could open the door up to promotion playoff places. Deportivo La Coruña in the wrong. No, they're not. They're in 10th. Again, they'll break into the 40-point barrier. Cordoba, 42. Plus 3 makes 45. So for me, the team with most motivation today is Almeria, who, with a win, could really change their season, go into the promotion playoff places. So crucial for Almeria. This would be one look at possibly taking on an Eibar lead, but it is 2.7 the favourite. So those are the main matches today. It's been a quiet week. I can't really offer you anything looking back on the Champions League first legs, but what we do have now are angles in for the second legs, don't we? Finally poised, but you'd still be favouring Dortmund, I think. This is match over. So Arsenal could rest some players and they can afford a 3-0 loss, don't forget. Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid far better at home. Are likely to be tougher to beat at home. All to play for, of course. Could see a 1-0 second leg, couldn't we? So now we've got those angles. We've got those angles with league football. We don't have them with first leg matches, but we do have when we're moving into the second leg. Well, it looks job done for Inter, doesn't it? Bayern Munich, Leverkusen, going to be a different story at Bayer Leverkusen. Possibility of a goal before half-time, particularly in order to get the gap 3 goals. This could be, well, this is good performance, I think, for Barca away. This might not be over. I still have a feeling we could get a both teams to score angle at some point in the Champions League. And looking yesterday, we've got second legs coming up now. We've got angles. Tottenham must score at home. I think they'd be favoured at home to get back into this. Fenerbahce at Rangers. Well, this is a solid display from Rangers against the odds as well. But they don't do it consistently enough. And we've got the special one as well. He knows he must score 2 goals. They were dominant force yesterday, Fenerbahce. So good result for Rangers. This one I don't know at all. Ajax and Frankfurt. Great result for Frankfurt. Thoroughly deserved on the in-play stats. But Ajax know what they must do at Frankfurt. Score the next goal. Roma and Bilbao. This might not be over. Bilbao at home are a tough nut to crack. Olympiacos at home could bridge the gap. Don't forget they were in the European final last year. This is still tight enough, but do note 2 red cards coming late enough. Weren't taken advantage of, though, by Paulson. So that just displays, I think, the difference in quality of the 2 sides as well. Conference League for the second legs. I think Real Betis should be the better side. But Guimaraes, Portuguese side, 2-2, finely poised. This is finely poised as well, but at Chelsea, they should have far too much for Copenhagen. Just put it to bed. Great response from Legia Warsaw. Might see them break through, get this 3-3 in the second leg. Fiorentina at home should be a different proposition. I haven't got a clue with these two. Similar story with this one. Celja, only one goal in it. It's a red card affected. And the Paphos, well, 1.6 home. Djurgården season yet to begin. So today, I might see you this evening, but my niece has arrived. So I might have to look after her this evening. But if I am up and about, it's interesting enough football. There's enough of it as well to make for an interesting coupon this evening. I know you're frustrated with the first leg and second legs. First leg matches in Europe, they're difficult to unpack. But these matches, there's far more angles in, isn't there? We've got seasonal patterns to work off. We've got those amazing patterns for teams scoring absolute shed loads in the second half, that kind of thing. So that's something we can take to war with, isn't it? So enjoy this evening. I hope to be with you. It's officially my day off because I normally do a live stream tomorrow and on Sunday. But if I am up and about, I will play because there's enough matches, enough readability to potentially produce some profitable trades. Let's have a great day.